We'll go with that. Again, any comments or questions, sportsbuzz@hbci.com. We'll take a break, and Jeff Theis will get some more FaceTime next. Coming up, as we talk about the Power Play segment here in the Sports Buzz. And welcome back to the Sports Buzz. Why exactly am I wearing a hat, and why do we have things? We're celebrating Jeff Theis's first win. There we go.
I'm actually wearing this so I can hide my face.
Jeff actually dominated as we take a look at the stats here, and Robinson Cano, one of the big reasons why he dominated.
Oh. Well, that hat worked well again.
Well, I would have won if I had Donaldson. It's just that Cano made it look better.
I just hope he doesn't bench Mike Trout, so I'm going full in for the Jeff Theis party, victory party.
I'm actually a little surprised you don't have a championship belt because it was the Hulkamania.
I guess I could have looked for one at Walmart when I went before.
Instead, we get ladybugs.
It costs 95 cents, so yeah.
Oh, so you have a cheap budget. Teepee talk.
Well, that's the first win. I mean, if he puts together a string of these wins, maybe we'll get
maybe I'll get more elaborate.
Updated stuff. All right, so congratulations to Jeff. And a couple of decisions here for Jeff. Do you keep Robinson Cano? What are you going to do?
I figure I'll keep him because he was on my first winning team.
Okay.
Oh, boo.
And then, so that means Donaldson's out the rest of the year. What are you going to do? All right, and the other decisions, you're going to bench somebody. So does Trout come back?
I was thinking,
put this hat on.
Trout's going to be coming back. It was either going to be Kershaw or Stanton getting benched, and I decided on Kershaw, so
yes!
he's getting benched.
Ty has been waiting for that, as you see the sign on there.
That's a terrible idea.
All right,
and Ty's drawn out of the hat. Maybe he can lose
no
Trout.
Outfielder, no outfielder, no outfielder, no whammy.
Yeah, that would be great if it was an outfielder.
Houston Street.
All right,
I will take that. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, so congratulations, and we'll see what happens as Jeff Theis will have the trophy. And
I'm actually okay with that.
yeah, well, congratulations to Jeff. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm very proud.
All right. Let's move on and talk a little bit of college football. BCS is gone. That's maybe another reason to party here. So the college football playoff will come up. Will there be a dark horse team that's able to come up as a non-BCS team?
It's going to be very difficult because the teams if there are only 4 teams getting in, and they've kind of unofficially said that winning your conference matters here, and then 2 SEC teams are always going to be lurking to getting in. So you're going to have a Boise State situation where you maybe go undefeated or be kind of a power outside for a few years and maybe get a signature win in season. So you have to schedule tough non-conference and get a good victory, and that might lead the way there.
You got your hands full, but yeah, it's going to be very tough for a small school. Looking over the preseason rankings, there's no non-major conference school within that, so they're going to have to gain at least 21 spots. That means you're probably going to have to go undefeated if you're not playing a tough schedule. And as Jeff said, a signature win, it's very unlikely. Obviously, it'll happen at some point, but this first year, I think you're going to see SEC and major conference dominance.
I think this year might be difficult, but I think you will see sometimes some teams crashing just because you'll get a Boise State where it's a team that's been really good, goes undefeated, and there'll be years where there won't be as many undefeated or powerhouse teams in the other leagues. But I think this year will be a little more difficult because you're going to have Florida State from the ACC, who is going to be dominant again. The SEC obviously will get somebody in. The Big Ten, Ohio State looks like they could maybe go and run the table. So there's 3 right there, and then maybe the Big 12 cashes in. So I think this year might be a little difficult, but in the coming years, if say Florida State isn't great, the ACC isn't really that great. So I mean, you could see somebody coming in.
Well, and Ty brought up a good point when he was talking about the preseason rankings. To me, that's almost as irrelevant as the NFL preseason, where you put teams in the preseason. I mean, you could have a dark horse team that's not going to be ranked high right at the beginning.
You're doing a disservice to any potential dark horse.
Well, considering there's a committee now that picks the teams, it doesn't really matter about where your rankings are. They're going to try and pick who they think are the 4 best teams.
You think there'll be pressure? I mean, maybe not this year, but in the coming years, to put one of these smaller schools that go undefeated that really roll through the regular season because it's humans picking them? Are they going to feel the pressure of putting one of those in?
I don't think they'll feel guilty, especially if they don't play anybody like Northern Illinois last year. They didn't play really anybody, that was that was really anything. So it's like you go undefeated, but you don't play anybody in the top 10 to 15 to 20 teams. It's going to be kind of tough for you to say, yeah, we should be there.
I don't see this being a regular type of deal, but I think back to Boise State when they were able to win the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. All their players were undefeated. Where's our neck? Give us a chance at the championship. Now that may be a possibility of a Boise State. Hey, prove it against the big boys if you feel you're able to compete.
Or one of those independents. Obviously, Notre Dame's a big name school,
Right.
but I mean, you got BYU's now an independent school that they're going to be playing independent schedule, so they're going to be able to schedule tougher teams that they could get into there.
All right, running out of time, but our usual question at the end. Who is the movie actor that was most convincing in a baseball role who's not named Kevin Costner? Because obviously, I think that's kind of the gold standard. He actually could play.
You got one? Go
Well,
ahead.
I was going to say, I think it has to be Charlie Sheen because first off, it's and we got his obviously his jersey up there. First off, it's a great character in Ricky Vaughn, and he actually was a pretty good baseball player, and he's got a good arm. He can throw about 83, 84 mile an hour. Looked like a baseball pitcher.
I'm going to reword it because I can't think of anybody that even comes close to Costner. Michael Jordan in Space Jam. I realize he didn't play very good baseball. It was pretty true to how he played in real life. Derek Hart is irate behind the camera, but Michael Jordan in Space Jam, sue me.
My favorite I'll just throw out the guy who played Clu Haywood in Major League because he looked the part and he looked like he swung a good bat. So, and plus the trash, he led the league in nose hair and when he sneezed, he looked like a party favor. But yeah, he swung a good bat, and it looked like he looked like a menacing hitter, and it was always fun to watch his scenes.
And there's the Duke, too.
The Duke,
Oh.
yeah. I think that was Steve Yeager, wasn't it? That was,
Threw it his own kid in a father-son game.
Yeah, I think so. And then, of course, you had, I would say Tom Selleck, just because he would take cuts, in preseason, for baseball teams, and he didn't have very good baseball movies. I mean, Mr. Baseball wasn't all that good, but that would be my choice. All right, well, thank you for joining us this week on the Sports Buzz. Again, a celebration for Jeff Theis and his win in fantasy. We'll see what happens
Hey,
next
Mike
week.
Trout's playing.
Join us on the Sports Buzz here on TV 25.